All right, today we're jumping into this incredible story from the Gandhavyuha Sutra. It's all about a seeker named Sudhana and his quest to meet the enlightened Queen Māyā. And trust me, this is a journey that really gets into the heart of what reality even is.
But let's start with a question. Really think about this. If you were about to meet someone who truly gets the nature of existence, someone who is the embodiment of ultimate wisdom, how would you even prepare for that? What would you do? It's a huge question, and it's right at the center of our story today.
So, let's meet our main character, Sudhana. He's not some king or a great warrior, he's a seeker on a really big journey. His goal is to understand the path of a bodhisattva, someone who reaches enlightenment but then decides to stick around and help everybody else get there too. And his quest has brought him right to the doorstep of the legendary Queen Māyā.
Now, Sudhana is super determined, but as he gets closer to meeting her, this massive wave of doubt starts to hit him. He gets that Queen Māyā isn't just a regular person. She represents something far beyond what we can normally grasp. This isn't just going to be a simple meeting. It's like a face-to-face with the absolute itself. You can almost hear his thoughts spinning, right? He's thinking, she's like a phantom, a reflection on water, as vast and ungraspable as empty space. How can a simple guy like him even hope to approach, let alone learn from, a being who is beyond the very ideas of coming and going, of being and not being? It turns out, his own mind is the very first hurdle he has to overcome.
So just as Sudhana is wrestling with all this doubt, these celestial beings show up. They see his struggle, and they don't give him a map or some kind of magic key. Nope, they give him a set of instructions. And they tell him that before he can ever approach the master, he first has to prepare the fortress of his own mind.
Okay, so let's get into this amazing metaphor they use, the mind city, or Xin Cheng. The whole idea here is that your inner world, all your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions, it's like a city. And before you can welcome a really honored guest, like say, wisdom itself, you've got to get the city ready. You can't just leave the streets a mess and the gates wide open, right?
So how do you actually do that? Well, the advice they give boils down to these 4 incredible steps. First, you have to purify the city. That means getting rid of all the junk, the greed, the jealousy, the dishonesty that just clouds everything up. Second, you illuminate it. You throw open the windows and let the light of pure wisdom shine in. Third, you fortify its walls. You make them strong with your commitments, with unbreakable vows. And then finally, and this part is so crucial, you open the gates, not to let enemies in, but to let boundless compassion flow out to everyone. So true preparation isn't about building walls around yourself. It's about making yourself a secure, pure source of openness and love for the world. After Sudhana takes all this advice to heart, he's finally ready. He's done the work. And as he focuses his newly prepared mind, the world literally transforms right in front of him, and he finally sees the home of Queen Māyā. Imagine this, a giant lotus made of jewels and diamonds just rises up out of the earth. On top of it, there's a pavilion that looks like it's literally woven from light and magic. Inside that, there's a throne made of wish-fulfilling gems, and sitting there is the queen. But she's not just one person. She looks like a cascade of infinite different forms, all existing at the very same time.
Her form is like an illusion. Now, this is a really key point. It doesn't mean she's fake or that she isn't real. It means she's a manifestation that's born from a deep, profound understanding of illusion itself. She comes from a wisdom that sees the dreamlike nature of all reality. And it goes even deeper. The text also says she's like a reflection. What this means is that she doesn't have one single fixed form. The way she appears is perfectly customized to the mind of whoever is looking at her. So what you see is actually a reflection of your own ability to understand. This all leads to this central paradox. On one level, Sudhana sees what looks like a solid, real queen sitting in a physical palace. But what's truly there is something else entirely. She is at the same time an infinite number of beings, a pure manifestation of wisdom, and she exists in a space that is boundless and fundamentally empty. She's somehow both everything and nothing all at once.
So, who is this incredible paradoxical being? Sudhana asks her to teach him, and she finally reveals her true function, her cosmic job that stretches back and forward across time itself.
She explains that she has mastered this very specific path, a liberation that's all about understanding this profound, wisdom-based illusion. And because she's mastered it, her role is to be the symbolic mother to all bodhisattvas, to everyone who seeks to become a Buddha. You could say she's the very womb from which enlightenment is born.
And this isn't just a one-time gig. Her vow is timeless. She was the symbolic mother to all the Buddhas in ages long past. In our present age, she was the actual historical mother of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha we call Śākyamuni. And she's going to continue to be the mother for all the Buddhas who are yet to come, like Maitreya.
To put that into perspective for you, the sutra says that just in our current cosmic era, this wise kalpa, there are going to be over 1,000 Buddhas, and her vow is to serve as the mother to every single one of them. The scale of that compassionate promise is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
So after revealing all of this, Queen Māyā gives Sudhana what might be her most important lesson. And it's not some big secret of the universe. It's something much more profound about the nature of the quest itself. It's the idea that the journey is the destination. And here we get this moment of incredible humility. After showing off this unbelievable cosmic power, she says to Sudhana, "Look, this path that I've just described, it's the only one I know. I can't possibly speak for the countless other paths and practices of all the other enlightened beings out there. Even at this level, wisdom isn't some single final thing you achieve."
And that right there is the ultimate lesson. She doesn't give him a final answer. She gives him his next stop on the journey. She tells him to go find another teacher. The reward for learning isn't some final truth, it's the next question. The reward for reaching one master is simply getting pointed toward the next one.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Sudhana's journey teaches us that the real preparation is all internal, that reality is way more wondrous and paradoxical than we can imagine, and that the path to true understanding never ever ends. So that leaves us with one final thought. If the quest for wisdom is an infinite journey, what's your next step?